Hi Team Laura, this is Sherry. So I've got a lot of reminders for today, and I do want to wish you if anyone has left in the office today, well, Happy New Year. Um, but several different reminders I've got right now, so pay attention. So the first one, we've got new roll-in procedures. So right now, if they're doing a plan-to-plan roll-in, then you would handle that. So how that works is that you handle from the old plan, so the one that they separated from, handling doing the distribution and then explaining to them the timing and processing, and then it's just automatically going to go into the new account, and then you help them with any kind of questions they have for the new plan. We do not no longer send any sort of plan-to-plan calls to connections, so no one do not do that, because there have been still problems transferring calls. And make sure that when you're transferring calls to check the who do you call list, or make sure that you're looking at your nice handy dandy paperwork of the info at a glance. Because if you have any questions about where to go, you can also check KB. That information is going to be there too. But I'm still seeing, and I'm getting a lot of calls that are incorrectly routed that we need to make sure are going to the correct area. Next thing, I want to make sure that everyone looks at their adherence. Because if something isn't put in correctly, or you think it was, and then for some reason something happened overnight and it didn't go in, your adherence is going to be all wonky, and then it can affect it for the rest of the month, and then that doesn't look good. I know that there's been a lot of system issues lately, so make sure that if there is system issues, you put that in. If you got a disconnected call, or if a call dropped and you had to call something back, make sure that once that happens, go into customer facing and then put in the notes from that call, and then call them back in that customer facing. Make sure you track your time, and then add that to your aspect, and then make sure that you check your adherence the next day, and then put in any sort of use form if you have to make sure that your adherence is getting tracked correctly. This 2019 year, there's going to be several different changes that are going to happen. Right now, the ones that are going to be effective immediately as of January 1st are going to be the fee changes. So the fee changes are going to happen for the online distribution going to $50, and then the loan setup fee is going to be increased by $25 for a flat $25. So I'll add it as an attachment with an email information, just as a reminder that the 2019 contribution limit is going to be $19,000 for normal elective deferral, and then catch-up contribution is still at $6,000. Make sure if you are institutional trained and Tier 5 trained to watch for the plan limits, because I know that for CHS, for highly compensated this last year, they had a $16,000 cap on highly compensated, but still had the catch up at $6,000. So I've been talking with the CHS people, letting them know that it is an 8% increase, but the employer still can, sometime in the middle of the year, even just put a cap on it. If we're not seeing it now, I don't know if they'll do that, but I'm duly trained on CHS, so if anyone is more familiar with CHS over the last couple of years, feel free to kind of comment or message the team saying, hey, I've seen or noticed this for CHS with highly compensated, them usually around sometime early year putting on a cap, because I'm not seeing it now, but they also inform their people before they inform us of any information, from what I've at least seen the last month. If you are submitting a manual ESOP election, you'll need to email Emily Morris with the details. And now, for some wonderful updates, we are now able to product rep loan payoffs. the e-check, so you can go online and do that, which I haven't done that yet. I haven't had anyone ask about me doing it for them, but once I do, I will be very excited to be able to do that. Just make sure you're putting in the routing number and account information correctly. And then the interest rate is going to change for the base of 5.5%. So if you see on the loan pop-up screen, it says prime plus 1, so it's going to be 6.5 then. But if it just says prime or it doesn't say any information, it's 5.5%, unless the plan has something otherwise. A couple things I wanted to let you guys or add to this is I'm looking forward to next year in 2019. Well, I get married in March, so I'm looking forward to that. So George will officially be my stepson. So he's actually looking forward to our wedding because he'll be the best man. This next year we're going to actually be moving out probably about March or April into a new house. So that's exciting. This next year I don't do any sort of like New Year's resolution. I like setting goals for myself. I feel that for me at least, that if I don't get to a goal, I still have it ongoing. Where like previously years I've tried to do like work out every day for 2 hours instead of like, oh, I need to lose weight. And even working out for 2 hours was difficult because either my schedule didn't allow it, or like this summer I hurt my neck, so this last couple of months I haven't been able to work out, so I just had to kind of adjust everything. But my goal for this next year, personally, is to be able to find ways to minimize my stress level at work as well as in my personal life, and then be able to kind of eat better. I do what's called fasting. Taylor does it as well, so I don't know if she does it the same way I do, but I know we talked about it where how I do it is once a day I eat one meal. When I'm feeling sick, I do eat 2 meals, breakfast and lunch, and then I drink a lot of fluids, a lot of water. I try not to drink anything additional outside of water or coffee when I need caffeine. But that helps me a lot to kind of maintain my weight, as well as I've been able to, it helps to eliminate things that I can't eat. Like I'm lactose intolerant, so I can't have that. I've also noticed that even though I am not allergic to gluten, it does cause like inflammation. And I talked to my doctor about it, and he found out that like even though it doesn't cause inflammation, my body still has problems, or it causes inflammation. I'm not whatever that disease is, but it can cause inflammation for other people just because of the high carbohydrates that it has and bloating. So my body already has problems digesting food, so that just makes it harder. So I actually had to increase my protein levels. So just kind of watching my goal for this next year to kind of bring it all around is to minimize my stress, hopefully, for this year, to help maintain and keep healthy consistently, hopefully, and then just to be able to enjoy spending time with my family. And then work-wise, my goal for this year is to become at least a retirement specialist 3, be very familiar with all of the tiers, because right now I'm still having a little trouble with defined benefit, and then I just got newly trained on tier 5, so I know a couple other people are doing that. But in the questions I'm going to ask, what is your goal for this year? And I'm interested in, if you don't have a goal, you don't have to set one, it's up to you. But if you do have a goal, I would love to hear about it. And then next week we're going to have, it's going to be our first of the year, but it is actually going to be one of our people's last Friday reminder videos. And next week, if you guys could send me a kind of a picture of you guys, I want to do kind of like a, I don't know what the best word is, but kind of just at the end of the video put in these are our people, just so we have the faces to go with everyone. But you guys have a happy new year. Bye.